about who might be your options in terms of tall defenders this week? Dylan Grimes obviously gets another go.
Yeah, he does. Look, obviously Will Thursfield's available this week, missing last week with a late ankle, which was really disappointing for Will. But look, he'll be well and truly in the mix for selection wise this week, which is good. Obviously they've got some key talls down there in Brown. You know, Dawes is in great form, as is Cloak, so we'll certainly have our hands full again.
One thing that seemed to be lacking a little bit last week was sort of bigger bodies against Hawthorn. Does that tempt you to sort of bring in Miller, Tuck, those sort of guys?
Yeah, it depends how you look at it. I don't think it was more so the bigger bodies. At the end of the day, the contested possession count, I think we lost by 6. So it was more just, I think, Hawthorn were, you know, they treat it like a dry day as compared to our guys. We tended to quick bomb it a little bit too much. So, we'll look at selection. We've obviously got it after the training session today, so they'll certainly be looked at, those guys.
Do you learn from the, possibly wet again? Do you sort of learn from that Hawthorn game, do things a little differently? Yeah,
I think so. I think, look, the thing with the young side is, you know, we spoke about it before the game. They have to sum up the situation, whether it's wet enough to actually, whether it's dry enough to actually play the way we want to play, or whether they've got to play some wet weather footy. So, you know, the MCG soaks it up pretty well. You know, the ground, as you would have seen, you know, held up really well, considering the amount of rain we did have. So our guys probably panicked a little bit, tended to bomb it. We actually opened the game up a little bit towards the second half last week with, you know, just moved the ball how we wanted to play, and the scoreboard reflected that. I think for the second half it was pretty even. So, you know, we'll learn a lesson from it as we do most weeks.
And Jack's learned a lesson too from the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think so. Look, he's a passionate kid, and, you know, we move on.
Is there a chance, though, that Jack, you know, given the apology and all that, could go the other way maybe and go into his shell?
I don't know. I think we move on pretty quickly from that. Look, he's disappointed in his actions, and rightly so, but, you know, it is I see worse things on video hits every Sunday morning when my kids are watching it, to be perfectly honest. But we move on. Look, he's just got to learn that full forward's always going to be under scrutiny. There's no doubt. You know, Nick Revold is, Richo before him, Buddy Franklin before him. You know, they're an emotional brand of player. So, look, he'll learn from it and control his emotions, keep them in check more so, and hopefully just direct his passion on the footy field.
Damien, how do you approach this game? Is it daunting for the players to come up against the side of that quality?
Look, it's probably exciting. I think, you know, you look at our first 4 rounds we've played, last year's grand finalists, the premiership team this week, Hawthorn possibly a top 4, and Carlton I think are going to finish thereabouts as well. So it's a great challenge for our guys. Gives them a real sense of where they're at. You know, look, obviously last week was disappointing. Our first quarter got blown out. The last 3 quarters were relatively competitive. So we're looking for a huge challenge from our guys this week, and, you know, we think we can put it up to the Pies.
Probably asking you to state the obvious, but what have you made of their start to the season? It's been certainly very impressive the first 2 games.
Yeah, look, they are very good. They're a great side, well disciplined, well coached. You know, they're something we aspire to be, and look, we're a fair way behind development wise. You know, they've been playing together for 5 or 6 years now. We're in year 2, so, you know, we very much look forward to taking them on and seeing how we compete against the best side in the competition.
How do you beat them? What's the key?
Look, I think over the last 2 years, I think the majority of games they've won both the contested possession, also the tackle count. So, like most games of footy, you generally win those 2. You generally win on the scoreboard. So there'll be some things we'll be looking at, and obviously they do on a weekly basis also. So, you know, we'll be hopefully our big boys will get in there and get the ball going our direction and get the scoreboard ticking over as well.